Welcome back, my fellow darkness devotees. Tonight we venture into the abyss of rural legends where the rustling of leaves whispers secrets best left buried. Tonight we delve into the eerie tales of the fields of whispers where crops are said to speak with the wind. Local folklore whispers of these fields where the veil between our world and the spectral realm wears thin. These stories are not for the faint of heart, so dim the lights, sit back, and prepare to be haunted. Let the whispers of the fields seep into your soul as we journey deeper into the darkness. Our first tale takes us to a seemingly ordinary cornfield, but as night falls, whispers of the past begin to emerge. Picture this: a small town nestled amidst rolling hills, its tranquility disrupted by an unspoken dread. At the heart of this unease lay a cornfield, its emerald stalks swaying rhythmically, concealing a sinister history. For generations, the townsfolk had whispered tales of the young farmhand Jedediah, who met a gruesome end in those very fields. They say he was a kind soul, hard-working and honest, until one fateful harvest moon when madness seized his mind. Driven by a force unknown, Jedediah turned on his own family, slaughtering them amidst the towering cornstalks. Some say it was the influence of an ancient evil that resided within the field, a darkness that seeped into Jedediah's soul. Others claimed it was the vengeful spirit of a Native American shaman whose burial ground had been desecrated to plant the first seeds of corn. Whatever the cause, Jedediah's spirit became tethered to the field, doomed to wander amongst the rustling stalks for all eternity. As years bled into decades, the whispers of Jedediah's madness morphed into chilling legends. Farmers told of disembodied voices carried on the wind, whispering their names in the dead of night. Some claimed to have seen flickering lights weaving through the corn, like spectral fireflies dancing in the darkness. But the most unsettling rumor of all was the whispering corn itself. They said that if you stood at the edge of the field, just as the sun dipped below the horizon, and listened intently, you could hear the corn whispering, not the gentle rustling of leaves, but hushed, intelligible whispers, carrying fragments of Jedediah's tormented thoughts. One harvest moon, a group of foolhardy teenagers, emboldened by youthful bravado and a healthy dose of liquid courage, decided to test the legend of the whispering corn. Next, we move to a wheat field that holds a dark secret. Legend has it that those who enter never return the same. Our second tale takes us further down the path of darkness, to a desolate expanse where the wind carries a chilling silence. This is the story of the cursed wheat field, a place where the earth itself seemed to recoil from the sky, where the sun's rays struggled to penetrate the oppressive gloom that hung heavy in the air. Unlike the vibrant green of the cornfield, this field was a sea of golden wheat, ripe for harvest but eerily still. No gentle breeze rustled the stalks, no birds dared to sing their melodies within its boundaries. It stood as a stark contrast to the surrounding landscape, a blemish upon the face of nature. The locals would tell you that the field was cursed, poisoned by a grief so profound that it had seeped into the very soil, choking the life out of anything that dared to grow within its boundaries. The story goes that the field once belonged to a farmer named Elias, a man known for his bountiful harvests and infectious laughter. He had a wife, Ilara, whose smile could chase away the darkest of clouds, and their love story was the stuff of local legend. But fate, as it so often does, had a cruel twist in store for them. One scorching summer day, as Elias toiled in his fields, a sudden storm swept across the land. It arrived with the fury of a vengeful god, unleashing its wrath upon the unsuspecting countryside. Elias, caught in the open field, was struck by lightning, his body consumed by the raw power of the storm. Ilara, upon hearing the news, rushed to the field where her beloved lay lifeless amidst the flattened wheat stalks. Her heart shattered, her cries of anguish swallowed by the relentless wind. Cradling Elias's broken body in her arms, Ilara made a pact with the very forces that had taken him from her. She begged for his return, offering her own life force in exchange. The storm abruptly ceased, an eerie silence descending upon the land. Ilara, drained of all emotion, returned to the village, her eyes hollow, her soul tethered to the field where her love lay buried. She planted the next season's wheat with her own 2 hands, her tears watering the seeds, her sorrow seeping into the soil. The wheat grew, but it was different. It lacked the vibrancy of previous harvests, its golden hue muted, almost sickly. And the field itself seemed to radiate an unnatural stillness, a palpable aura of sorrow that pushed away all signs of life. Those who dared to enter the field spoke of a bone-chilling cold that seeped into their bones, no matter the temperature. They felt an oppressive weight upon their chests, as if the very air was thick with despair. Finally, we arrive at the Phantom Orchard, where the wind carries the voices of the lost. This story will leave you questioning the very nature of reality. Our final destination tonight is a place shrouded in perpetual twilight, where the sweet scent of decay hangs heavy in the air. Welcome to the Phantom Orchard, a place where life and death intertwine in a macabre dance, where the rustling leaves whisper tales of love, loss, and lingering regret. Imagine, if you will, rows upon rows of gnarled apple trees, their branches heavy with fruit that shimmers with an unnatural luminescence. The apples, plump and juicy, beckon with the promise of sweet oblivion, but their taste, they say, is tinged with the bitterness of the afterlife. The Phantom Orchard, according to local legend, was once a place of joy and abundance. It belonged to a young couple, Thomas and Rosalind, who poured their hearts and souls into nurturing their orchard. Their love story was as sweet as the apples they cultivated, their laughter echoing through the trees, a testament to their happiness. But tragedy struck on the eve of their wedding day. Rosalind, her heart overflowing with anticipation, was returning from the village when her carriage was ambushed by highwaymen. They say Thomas, upon hearing the news, was driven mad with grief. He searched high and low for his beloved, his pleas for her safe return swallowed by the indifferent wind. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, but Rosalind was never found. Thomas, consumed by his sorrow, neglected his orchard, his tears watering the roots of the trees that had once symbolized their shared dreams. One stormy night, unable to bear the pain of his loss any longer, Thomas walked into the heart of his orchard and took his own life. From that day forward, the orchard took on a life of its own. The trees, once vibrant and alive, became twisted and gnarled, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The apples, once a symbol of love and fertility, took on a ghostly pallor, their sweetness replaced with a cloying, ethereal flavor. Those who dared to venture into the Phantom Orchard spoke of strange occurrences. They claimed to hear whispers carried on the wind, faint murmurs of conversations long past. Some saw fleeting glimpses of figures moving amongst the trees, their forms shimmering like heat haze, their faces obscured by the shadows. But the most unsettling phenomenon was the voices. They say that if you stand beneath a particular apple tree, the one where Thomas took his own life, and listen closely, you can hear the voices of the lost. Whispers of lovers parted too soon, pleas for forgiveness and expressions of undying love echo through the orchard, carried on the wind that rustles the leaves. One moonless night, a young woman named Anya, drawn by the legend of the Phantom Orchard, decided to seek out the truth behind the whispers. She had lost her own lover in a tragic accident, and the pain of his absence was a constant ache in her heart. She entered the orchard, its oppressive silence wrapping around her like a shroud. The air was heavy with the scent of decaying fruit, mingled with a strange metallic tang that sent shivers down her spine. As she made her way deeper into the orchard, the whispers began. At first, they were faint, distant murmurs, like the rustling of leaves. But as she approached the heart of the orchard, the whispers grew stronger, clearer, until she could make out individual voices. The Fields of Whispers. Each tale a chilling reminder that some places hold on to memories long after the living have forgotten. Remember, the next time you find yourself in a field, listen closely. You never know what secrets the wind might reveal. The rustling of leaves, the creaking of branches, the whispers carried on the wind. Are they merely the sounds of nature, or do they hold something more? If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-tingling tales. Until next time, sleep tight and pleasant nightmares.